Hello children, it's me Needu, your English teacher, and today I'm here with a new chapter, Two Stories About Flying. This chapter has two different stories related to the experiences of flying. Both the stories are very beautiful and is giving out a very powerful message to us. Now we are going to study the first section of the chapter, His First Flight. This is a story written by Liam O'Flaherty. It's an account of a young bird. This is a story of a young bird who is afraid to fly for the first time. This bird believes that his wings would not support him, and that's why he was afraid to fly. But all his younger siblings, younger brothers, were flying fearlessly with much shorter wings. But he could not gather the courage to do the same. He could not gather the courage to fly. He was punished by his parents. Okay, do you know how he was punished? He was punished to stay hungry if he did not fly. So, it was his mother that compelled him to fly by using food as a trap. So, this lesson reflects how one hesitates to take the first step. That fear in the mind of every people to take the first step. Now we can go through the chapter in detail. And this is how our chapter begins. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hall under the ledge where he slept at night. So, we are saying about the seagull, young seagull. What's a seagull? Yes, this is the picture of a seagull. And it's a bird that lives near the sea and has short legs, long wings, and white and grey feathers. Seagull. This is a story of a young seagull. So, this young seagull was at the stage of life where he has to learn to fly. Okay. Unlike his younger brothers and sisters, he is too afraid to fly. His younger brothers and sisters were so courageous and they started flying, but this young seagull was too afraid to fly. When all of them went for flying for the first time near the edge of the sea, all of them, okay, except him, everyone flew, but he became afraid and he only stood there. All others became succeeded. Even his younger brothers and sisters became succeeded. He could not trust his wings. That was the reason. He thought that with his wings he can't fly. His wings wouldn't support his body. He thought in such a way. He got terrified. He got afraid by seeing the vast sea and believed that he could never fly. By seeing the big sea in front of him, he thought that he could never fly by using his wings. So, what he did, he was ashamed and thus he went inside the ledge. What's a ledge? Narrow horizontal shelf projecting from a wall. That means a cliff. Okay. So, he went inside that ledge where he usually slept. So, what's the first thing we said in the first paragraph? Yes, we said about the seagull who was afraid to fly. All his siblings, even though they are younger brothers and sisters, younger than him, he felt that he couldn't fly like them. He could not trust his wings. Okay, so that's what we said in the first paragraph. Now look at the second paragraph. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away, he failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him threatening to let him starve on his sledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. So here it is explained how his younger siblings managed to take their first flight despite their wings shorter than his. But he couldn't gather courage to fly like them. Okay, so even when each of his brothers and even his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, they ran to the brink, then flapped. What's the meaning of flapped? Moved up and down. Okay, flapped their wings and flew away. Okay, so even his brothers and his little sister did like that. But what's his condition? He failed to muster up courage. Muster up means gather. Gather courage to take that plunge. Plunge means jump or dive. Okay, so he couldn't gather courage to jump like them. He felt that he is so sad as he couldn't do it. He felt much sad as he couldn't do that. His father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly. Shrilly means with high-pitched voice, high-pitched sound. Okay, so his father and mother is coming near him and is calling him, but he couldn't come out from that fear. And what they did, they threatened him to let him starve on his sledge unless he flew away. So what, by saying what, they threatened him. They said that unless he flew away from that ledge, from that place which he stays now, what they'll do, they will never give him food. But for the life of him, he could not move. He was scolded by his parents for not trying again, but he was so afraid that he could not even move from there. That's a paragraph. That's the meaning of the paragraph. And now we are moving to the next. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it standing on a rock while his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. So, that complete day, that was 24 hours ago. That thing happened 24 hours ago. That means one day before. Since then, nobody had come near him. After that, nobody came near him. Even his parents didn't come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents. The next day, what are the things he watched? His parents flying about with his brothers and sister. So his parents are flying with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight. So the parents are trying to make their children perfect in the art of flying, perfecting them. That means our seagulls, brothers and sister is being taught by the parents. Okay, so the parents are trying to perfect their children, then teaching them how to skim the waves. Okay, how to skim in that waves, then and how to dive for fish. So these are the things taught by the parents to the children, to his brothers and sister. He watched all these. He had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring. Herring means a soft-finned sea fish. So he had seen one more thing. His older brother caught one herring and devoured. Devour means eat quickly. Okay, devour it standing on a rock. At that time, what his parents were doing, his parents circled around raising a proud cackle. Cackle means laugh in a loud. Okay, so they were laughing out, they were cheering up, they were congratulating him for doing such a brave act. Who watched all these things? Our young seagull. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about in the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. So, in the complete morning, all the morning, the whole family will come near him and they will tease him for being a coward. Coward means person who lacks bravery. Okay, so his older sibling caught fish and ate, and his parents are proudly celebrating all this. Okay, that his parents, at the same time, his parents are trying to make him do the same and always motivating him to do the same, but he thought that he will never do it. That's all. Now we are moving to next. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge and, standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. Still, they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. Now he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Now the sun had risen and he was feeling the heat more than ever because he was empty stomach since the night before. He didn't eat anything. He stepped out of his ledge and acted to sleep on one leg to get the attention of his family. Okay, so he wanted to show to his family that he is too weak, he is too tired, but nobody noticed him. His siblings were sleeping, his father was cleaning his feathers with his beak, and his mother was standing on another plateau eating fish, while she only noticed our young seagull. Okay, so mother only noticed him. And the seagull got mad on seeing the fish. He got mad. That means he was. We know that he's too hungry, isn't it? So he want to get that piece of fish anyhow from his mother. He was very hungry. He loved to tear away fish and scrap his beak now and then. So he just want to get that piece of fish from his mother. That's what said in this paragraph. Now next. Ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Ga gosh. He screamed back derisively, but he kept calling plaintively. And after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. Okay, so derisively means in a ridiculed manner. Okay, plaintively, sad, uttered, said. Okay, halted means stopped. He cried in hunger to his mom while his mother screamed back angrily. But he kept crying, which soon turned into a joyful scream at the sight of his mother flying towards him with the piece of fish. He began to scream out with joy. Why? He saw his mother is coming near him with that piece of fish in her beak. He got excited as she came nearer. So, what our seagull did? He leaned forward. He bent a little forward. Suddenly, she stopped not too far from him. Suddenly, she stopped there in the air. Out of excitement and hunger, he jumped at the fish without realizing that he is afraid to fly. Because of that much hunger, because of that much excitement of eating that piece of fish, what our seagull did, he jumped to get that fish from his mother's beak. He jumped to the air. He at that time forgot that he is afraid to fly. Okay, that excitement of getting that piece of fish, he jumped forward, he leaned forward and jumped to catch that fish. And that's how he started flying. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. Then a monstrous terror seized him and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. Ga ga ga, ga ga ga, ga ga. His mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. He saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. Okay, yes. Monstrous. We can look at the new words. Monstrous, horrible. Seized means grab. Headlong, it means with the head foremost. Soaring, flying up high in the air. Swooped means especially for a bird moving rapidly downwards through the air. Moving down through the air is called a swooping. Curveting means performing a series of jump on the hind leg by using the hind legs. So, what all things are said in this paragraph? He got so excited that he fell as soon as he tried. Okay, so without knowing, naturally it happened, isn't it? For a moment, he was in shock and stood still out of terror. He became shocked, really, and he became afraid that, oh, he jumped out into the air. All this lasted only for a moment. That fear made him stuck for a moment, but soon what happened? His feathers opened and he started flying. He could feel the wind against his breast feathers, against his stomach feathers, and his wings. He could feel wind in his wings. He could feel himself cutting through the air. He's moving through the air, and he could feel that very much. He was not afraid anymore. Okay, so in that excitement of getting food, it happened automatically, naturally it happened. He was just a bit nervous, but then his mother accompanied him. At first he became a bit nervous, a kind of fear was there in his mind, but later his mother, his parents, so that means his father, then his brothers, sisters, everyone, the whole family screamed out of excitement. Thus, they were celebrating his victory over fear. Till that, he believed that he couldn't fly. He can't fly at all. He didn't believe in his wings. He thought that he could never fly with his wings. Because of that fear in his mind, he couldn't do anything. Now the fear is gone. Really, fear was there, but somehow it happened. He jumped out and he started flying. Now, look at the next. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commanded himself to dive and soar and curve, shrieking shrilly. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him, with little ridges moving around it, over it, and he turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. Shrieking means making high-pitched sound. Shrilly, loud, forceful sound. Ridges means long, narrow hilltop. Cawed, utter a cawing sound. That's all. So once he overcame his fear, he forgot that he was once afraid of it. Okay, he did all those things he once feared. He flew straight over the sea. He could see the greenery. He could see the mountains beneath him. He screamed out of joy as he enjoyed that victory. Look at the lines. He completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly. He forgot such a fact that he had feared to do all these things. He had feared to dive and soar and curve. By making a shrieking, shrilly sound, he was doing all those things. He was near the sea now, and what all things he's doing now? Flying straight over it, flying straight over the sea, facing straight over the ocean. He saw what all things? Vast green sea beneath him, down him, with little ridges moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. Happily, he did all these things. He's himself celebrating his victory along with his family. His parents and his brothers and sisters had landed on this green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flipping his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. Exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea. And then his belly touched it, and he sank no farther. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight. Okay, so when he landed, after all this flight, when he landed, his family landed along with him as a gesture that they were proud of him. Okay, they were showing him that they were proud. They were screaming and shouting in excitement in their high-pitched voices. He then went into the sea, where at first he got scared. He tried escaping, but got tired and weak because of hunger. Thus, when he calmed down, he started floating in the sea he was once afraid of. Okay, his family was celebrating in excitement and offered him food as a present, as a gift. Finally, he had overcome his fear and had made his first flight. Okay, look at the lines once again. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green flooring ahead of him. So they too accompanied him. They too landed with him. They were beckoning to him, showing that gesture of happiness, calling by making that shrilly voice. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. Now he's standing. He's floating on the sea. His legs sank into it. He's floating. Okay. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. So at first he felt a bit of fear to float in the sea like that, but he is just trying it again, attempted to rise again, flapping his wings, but he was tired and weak with hunger. He could not rise. He is trying to rise up. He is trying to fly again but he was too tired on that day. That's why he could not rise. He could not fly. Exhausted. Exhausted means too tired by the strange exercise. What's the strange exercise he did on that day? He started his first flight, isn't it? So what he did, his feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it and sank no further. He was floating on it. He is not sinking into the water, but he was just floating on it. Around him were his family. What they were doing, they were screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps, pieces of dogfish. Pieces of fish is being offered to him. Why? He has done the greatest thing he thought he could never do in his life. What was that greatest thing? He had made his first flight. Okay, so that's the meaning of the paragraphs. So what are things we studied? The story, his first flight, is about a young seagull who is afraid to fly, isn't it? All his younger siblings, even though their wings were shorter than him, they flew fearlessly. But he couldn't gather courage to trust his own wings. So the young seagull became so sad when he saw his parents perfecting his younger siblings in the art of flying. His parents scolded and even threatened him for not even trying to fly. They even called him coward. They tell him a lot, at least to try, and also threaten him by not giving him food, isn't it? By the next day, he became too weak. Only his mother, who had a piece of fish in her beak, noticed her son. The young seagull cries out of starvation, hoping his mother would give that piece of fish to him. By seeing that piece of fish in mother's beak, he got excited. Okay, by noticing it, what mother did, mother stopped in the middle. Okay, by seeing that fish, out of his hunger, what our seagull did, he jumped and he dived at the fish, forgetting for a moment that he is afraid to fly. He forgot everything at that moment. Finally, that was the first flight he did. All the family members celebrated his victory by cheering, dancing around him, and all. Okay, he also attempts at floating in the sea that he was once afraid of. He was once feared of seeing these kind of things done by his family members. Now he did the same. Thus, he overcomes his fear and realizes that it's all in his mind. This story has many moral values which can be applied by a person in their life. Okay, so we had seen the seagull who overcomes his fear of flying when a situation comes in which he sees himself dying because of hunger, isn't it? When such a situation came, what he did, he is taking his first flight, which saved his life. Okay, and this story also teaches us that life is all about good and bad situations. Good and bad situations, happy and sad situations will be there in everybody's life, and each and every happy situation should make us alive always, and all the sad situations should make us stronger than before. Okay, this story also gives out a message that a person should be very strong, and when a person is not aware about his inner strength, when a person is afraid of taking his first step, what will happen? Sometimes the inner strength of that person will get perished, will get destroyed. So what should be done? We should always have the courage to do new things rather than overthinking about it. So that's the content of the chapter. I believe that you understood all these paragraphs and the first section very well. I'm giving the question answers of this section along with this video. What should be done? You should take a notebook and copy the same to your notebook very neatly and read the chapter once again. I'm just reminding you, I know that you'll do it well. Anyhow, read the textbook very well and study these question answers too. And if you have any doubts, please contact me. Okay, thank you.